Okay, it was around 3:55 when I started recording this earlier, and 3:55 a.m. on May 3rd, Wednesday. Um, yeah. So, let's go with what I was talking about. So, Fallout Chicago. I need to give an update. This is like me recording it again because I messed up the last recording because I cussed, and I'm too lazy to edit it out from the video. So like I was saying, for Fallout Chicago, okay, so I haven't given an update because there were three problems. One was my interactions getting feedback and then setting up the mod. Secondly, the art and what I use for it. And then third was the writing. So when I first posted the mod, it was actually posted... this mod I posted for Chicago, and I made the YouTube video for, was posted on February 26th. I had previously, a month before, had published the mod. But Bethesda shut it down 2 days later. And it took me a second to realize that because I had published them on PlayStation, I was building it and then uploading it to PlayStation to continue testing it because I was using Vanilla Access to start building parts of it. And they didn't give me a reason. And usually I've heard people get, informed very clearly as to, they broke the code of conduct or something when they publish a mod, and it takes forever. Even if they use the wrong word in the mod description, they take it down. But there was nothing when I checked my email. So that was ridiculous. So I posted the mod so people would be aware that it's in development. Development hasn't stopped, even though there's been no news. No news is good news, kind of. I've been working on the writing, and I've been trying to get some stuff in order. But I had all these links to recruit more modder artists and workers for my goal, and it was gone, so I couldn't do anything. But anyway, so it will be using mostly vanilla assets and then some content I've had permission to use. Nothing that will be used will not be... I'm going to ask permission for everything. So anyway, I talked to the Fallout New Vegas members in general on their Discord, in their general chat, and they said that generally permission is allowed as long as you give credit and whatever, and I have screenshots for that. So I have proof that they've given them permission that you can use the stuff for this mod. I didn't specifically ask them for Chicago. I just said modding in general, and they said yeah. So these are all the outfits that is going to be in the Chicago mod. I know it's New Vegas, but we just need variety. And then, of course, they developed not just armor. They developed some weapons here. They developed the Gatling laser. It's kind of cool. If you look over here, this stuff is just, I won't be adding it to the mod. This is just some different stuff from Fallout 76. But, I'll be adding, let me show you this. This is pretty cool. Look at this. That's a mod. It's the dragon. I love it. But like I was saying, I will be adding some things, there's a few different sets of excavator power armor from a few different mod authors. I'll be getting that permission and triple checking that their mod wasn't stolen from someone else. Of course, the mod I will be using won't have the Christmas paint job on it. And then, the auto axe, which is, hold on. Do I not have the auto axe? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so just some regular stuff. I got the Brotherhood of Steel Crusader pistol here. Kind of cool. But yeah, so I ran into trouble with setting up the mod in the beginning. And then the feedback, I didn't want to overhype the mod. I wanted to be transparent, but people were misunderstanding. They wanted to explore the land of Chicago. They didn't really care about the story itself. And I had this idea for a story. But they were thinking new world, new land. I'm one person with no veteran years of experience. That's just the way it is. I am trying to recruit, but it's been difficult because the places I have gone to, the communities I've gone to, they allow modders to gather together, but you're not really allowed to recruit people for your projects. You're not allowed to ask. And the places where I did set it up were shut down to ask. So The feedback, there was a misunderstanding from what I was seeing on it, and I didn't want that there to be a misunderstanding. I wanted to be transparent with what I was doing so people wouldn't get disappointed with it. Because I don't want to say I'm making a mod and then say it's going to do this, this, and this, and people are going, well, it's this, this, and this. Because that's kind of exactly what happened. They were thinking, they were like, I saw one person say that they were going to reinstall Fallout 4 and just love to visit Chicago, but I don't have a lot of it's hard to explain. I feel like people think it's going to be like this big, glorious new enemies with new animations and new weapons. I can't create new creatures. It's physically impossible for me. I don't have the. I have the technology. I mean, I have a good computer, but I don't have the. I don't have the resources or the. I don't understand 3D art. I've asked people to teach me, but they tell me to look at tutorials, and tutorials don't go over everything. They skip stuff. So it's not for lack of trying. But yeah, it's gonna have some armor that's already available. So there's varieties of people. It'll be different. I'm gonna add a radio station. There's gonna be quests, and so like the writing, the art was kind of hard to do. And let's get this over here. And I just needed to look at feedback and then like really be clear on what I wanted to do for the mod. And then like, so there's that. And then for the writing, it's been 3 months since I posted the last video. And the writing, I've scrapped it, revised it, re-edited it. I mean, it's kind of stayed, the premise stayed the same, but I've been working on it nonstop. And so, well, on and off for 3 months, nonstop almost. And what it is it's basically, originally the mod had you do a quest line where you go shoot this, go shoot that, and you go join these guys that are not a part of the Brotherhood of Steel in Chicago, but part of like they're their own thing, and they're like the Mutant Liberation League is what I call them. They're part of it's based off of the Fallout Brotherhood of Steel game, where you fight a whole bunch of bandits, and then like there's a evil warlord, and then after that there's a bunch of robots, and you can put your brain in the robot base and then take it over. And like one of the endings is like where you're trying to supplant the Brotherhood of Steel with the West Coast when you contact them. And you could be evil or good. The Brotherhood of Steel can accept ghouls and other mutants. And it was a very simple quest line in the beginning, and then it was going to get more complicated later on. But I didn't like that. I don't like linear. There was no choice really. So I broke it down, and originally it was going to have you pick a faction, where like there would be like 3 quests, and on 2 of them you ask a faction for help, and they send 2 NPCs. And those 2 NPCs show up during your quest line. And then they go with you to Chicago. And then there's some exchanges, social exchanges or events while you're doing it, and then they get like a small, like 1 or 2 quests, and you get like a specific like further ending for your faction based on that. But that was stupid, because I wanted, when I was making Chicago, I wanted a mod. I can't stress that I'm a novice modder, not a veteran, with no world veteran years worth of veteran building experience. And people were getting excited like I was, and I didn't mean for that to happen. And when I was thinking about this mod, I was like, when I was rewriting it, I was thinking, what do I want to see? Because I wanted a story that was rich in content that has never been made before, or hasn't been made to what I crave. I crave a good faction-rich story where it's choice-driven a little bit, and there's some discrepancies or variation to it. And so instead of having 3 quests, and then like I had these ideas where there's 4 ways you could get to Chicago, but I had those ideas already out. I'm like, I came up with those ideas while I was coming up with the 3 quests or whatever to get to Chicago, the 3 quests in a line. But you still talk to this guy, you don't take the other routes because they weren't going to be implemented. And then I'm like, well, so this is basically after 3 months, this is what I have. Okay, you walk into this room. It's going to be outside of Sanctuary. It's not this room, but you're going to walk into a room, and there's going to be a computer terminal. And then the computer terminal is what you're going to use to activate the quest mod. and it's gonna start everything. Okay, and you're gonna click on it, and it's gonna ask you some questions, but it's gonna ask you two very important questions that will give you the. I will explain that in a second. I need to pause. All right. Is it on paused? Oh, perfect. Okay. I have like 3.5 minutes left because the YouTube video only does 15-minute extensions. So I'm pushing the time here, but to summarize, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on what I was thinking for the story. The mod is I had to work out feedback with people, listening to their feedback, setting up a future work for the mod to be frequently released and updated to get updates. I had to secure art stuff and find ways I haven't tried or implemented yet to get people, and I've been reworking the story. Part 2 will cover the story. So, but yeah, the mod is still alive. I've been working on the story for like the last 3 months and looking at options on what I can do. So that I'll conclude that with this, and yeah, the next video will have spoilers for the story. Yeah, but thank you for tuning, and thank you for watching.